Good morning, afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is for you, I'm Cyclo. It's time for Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. It's time for a stopper to the bridge. Let's go ahead and travel to London Bridge. I guess we're starting at West Croydon, but we're going to find out when we get the scenario. It doesn't actually tell us. So I assume that we're starting at West Croydon, but we'll find out in a moment. As our last Class 456 scenario, after this I'm going to probably look into trying to introduce the Armstrong Powerhouse version of the train. I just want to clear the crew scenarios as they're designed in case that train behaves differently. I don't know. But I definitely do want to show you the Armstrong Powerhouse version of the train. I already have it installed. I am curious to see what is involved. First of all, I don't even know where those scenarios for that version of the train are that come with the route. And second of all, I don't know if I have all the stuff I need for those scenarios. But I do have a lot of stuff installed, so I might have some good progress here. But at some point, I will show you that one in the future. For right now, we're staying with South London Network and eventually the South London to Brighton route, which is where that 456 will probably show up. So we'll look into that in the future. In the meantime, we have a stopper to the bridge with our final default Class 456 scenario. Let's get started. Good morning, driver. Today you will be running the first train of the day, the 6:10 service to London Bridge from South Croydon. It's actually pretty daylight for 6:10. You will be calling at all stations along the route. However, it should be a clear run as no delays are expected. See, it's pretty light in the day already for this time of day, so I guess this must be a summer scenario because I would not see it this light even where I live. I'm further south than a lot of the UK in the hemisphere. I wouldn't see this kind of daylight unless it was like the start of July or the end of June. You would not. It would be light at 5:30 in the morning where I am at that time of year, and that's the earliest light we ever see. So yeah, it must be very, very early in the summer for this scenario. Hey, let's get started. So doors need to be opened. You can see we have an itinerary at South Croydon. We are starting at South Croydon. I didn't think this train went to South Croydon. What do you know? This train today starts at South Croydon, and that's what we're doing. Okay. So if we were to go behind, you're going to notice that the route does actually not continue beyond South Croydon. I did mention this already. The route ends here. When we merge the South London to Brighton route in, it will continue. You can see there's a train here that's waiting to start its own movement, so that's interesting. So yeah, that kind of brings the route continuity thing. As you can see on the map, we are indeed at the end of the route here. That is where it ends. And there is the 1FO1 service that we're going to be seeing at some point coming along. Another service is scheduled to come in behind us as well. So it's going to be a bit of a busy, interesting trek here. I didn't put that up, so let's do that quickly and get ourselves moving. Maybe. There we go. So our first stop, leaving South Croydon, we're heading to East Croydon, which is kind of the only place we can go right now. So we're going to do that. Now, we do know from experience coming on the London to Brighton route that going along East Croydon, the speed limit comes from 60 down to 45 down to 30. I am going to go ahead and take advantage of what speed I can in the meantime. We do have to stop at 6:12. So we are going to have to take advantage of that speed while we can. You can see the distance signals over there on the right on the other track. One was turned, the other one wasn't. The one that was horizontal was indicating a red signal. I cannot exceed 45, so I'm going to keep that in mind. Actually, I don't even see a 30 up ahead, so this is actually not bad for me. I expected a 30. Maybe it was not programmed on this route. East Grimstead, right there. That's the train heading there. Maybe it's only the outer tracks have 30. Maybe these inner tracks don't. I don't know. What I do know is we are going to come to a stop, though. Kind of hard to do anything if we don't. Kind of hard to pick up passengers on the run, you know what I mean? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Hop aboard. Just hurry up. You're going to miss the train if you don't hop. I know, thank you. I didn't mean to put the throttle back on there. That was kind of awkward. Step 2 brake should get us down on time, I would imagine. That was bumpy. And a train just going by over to our left, or our right there, sorry. We have a flashing signal, which means we're going to probably move into Norwood Junction. We'll see you in a moment. East Croydon. Our next stop is one of the 2 new stations we're going to see on this journey, going through Norwood Junction. Norwood Junction is a station. It is not just a junction like most of the junctions you see. It actually is a station built on that junction. So they call it Norwood Junction. Makes sense. Ooh, some trees in the window there. That's nice. That's a little shadow there. You can tell it's early morning because of the way the shadows are coming in. We have a 40 coming up, so I'm going to ease my throttle off. We actually have a 30 coming up as well, which we're going to have to slow down for. We have a flashing single yellow at this point. That is telling us that we are going to junction off at the next signal, which is where the 40 takes effect. And there's a 30 for another junction after that. So we're going to have to follow the signals to see what we need to do here. We have 1¼ miles to our destination of Norwood Junction, or our next stop, I should say. This should be a junction signal right now. Bright main line continues to the left, heading towards Clapham Junction and London Victoria. We're taking the path to London Bridge. You notice I just let the speed slow down gradually. I might regret that, but I did it. So there we go. So a quick look at the itinerary. We'll see what the other station is that's new today. We have Anerley, I hope I'm saying that right. That's 2 miles away. Then we're going to rejoin at Penge West, which I think we've seen, and the rest is familiar. Train tried to make me speed. Thankfully, I caught it in time from looking at our itinerary. I caught the change in time, and we are now on a 30 track going well under 30. I didn't want to do that because we're on level ground right now. We do have a faster speed limit coming up, but we're not going to be able to take advantage of that as we come in the station. Because that will be our stop in the station. Do we have a signal up ahead? I actually don't know what our signal is yet. Zooming up a little bit, we do have a green. I actually just heard the ding, so I didn't even need to check. The train knows what we have. It says we can go, we can go. Unless you're on the Riviera line coming into Paddington, which you have to, you know, stop because it's a yellow. Warning you have to stop at a red. We're going to be really early for this one. I don't have a problem with this stop. We're almost down to 1/10 of a mile. We're going 28 to 30. This is acceptable. We're just going to keep cruising at this. Despite the 60, we're not really going to be able to take advantage of it much. The most we can gain is a couple miles. Not really worth it. So we're just going to cruise in and come to a stop. So we're cruising in. And we're coming to a stop. Ah, the finale. I love the shows in both the UK and America. You never see that one in Germany, though. That's... Doors are open at Norwood Junction, platform number 2, our first visit there. Leaving Norwood Junction, our next stop is Anerley. I hope I'm saying that right. Anerley Station. We do have only about 2 minutes to get there, so I'm going to need to power the train up to a faster speed. We're about a mile away. So already we're at a pace where we're going to be late because we had quite a long wait there at Norwood Junction. So we're already a bit of a late pace right now. We have to get some speed going. Quick peek at the map to show the route we're taking today. We are driving along on this area where the route normally ends here on the Brighton main line. So we're going to continue to Anerley, which is right here. Then when we get up to Penge West, that's actually new to us as well. Then we're going to rejoin the route here at Sydenham, which we have already seen. And the rest of it we've seen on a previous route. That should be fast enough of a pace at this point. I'm just going to go ahead and let the train coast. We are within a minute of our stop. In terms of time, we are about 3/10 of a mile away from the platform, which should be good, I would imagine. Penge West is very close as well. Going to start braking now. I'm actually getting a step 2 brake because I want to get down to 30 by the platform. Good enough. 31, I'll take it. And this is a very small platform, so a step 2 brake is going to be needed to come to a stop here. I'm going to ease it back to a step 1 to coast a little bit. I'm going to come to a stop right here. That's good enough. Plus, we have to open the doors in a few seconds anyway. So, arrival, I think that's right on time at Anerley, Platform 1. Leaving Anerley, our next stop is Penge West. Like I said, apologies if I am pronouncing anything wrong. I am not from the UK, so my vernacular is not as good as you'd expect people on the route to expect me to know it would be. Gonna get a quick burst of speed here. We have a minute to make our stop at Penge West. My pronunciation on a lot of the terms is still good because we do have a lot of the same terms here. For example, Waterloo. I know what Waterloo is, obviously. There is a Waterloo, Ontario. I mentioned that we have a Chatham, we have a Windsor. So I know, and these are easy terms anyway, I think, compared to some of the other ones that we see. So I am familiar with a lot of these terms because we do have them in Ontario. So it's the ones that we don't have you're going to be seeing a little bit more of a challenge on from me. There's a train to, did that say Caterham? You can check that on YouTube if you want to double check my guess on that. So arriving at Penge West, and the doors are now open. Leaving Penge West, our next stop is Sydenham. Also a term I'm familiar with. The University of Western Ontario has a Sydenham, a building named Sydenham, or a wing of the university named Sydenham, and I'm familiar with that. So, yeah, not going to have a problem with that name. Crossing under another line coming in. We took that line on a previous scenario. And that is going to rejoin us as we head towards London Bridge. We're already at 455 points. You can see that we're 5 stops in. So quick math, we're a little less than 100 points per stop. I haven't actually been doing the math. I know it's a number that ends in a 7. That's all I can really tell you at this point. I want to say maybe 87 per stop. I'm just speculating on that. But we have 11 stops. That would actually make sense. I'm coming in way too quickly for this station. I just realized that. So we're going in a step 2 break. I'm going to go to full service to make sure we come to a stop. Came in quite fast on that stop. So we did make the stop on time though. Arriving at Sydenham platform 1, and we are... Actually, I needed the time, so there you go. I was wrong, 91 points. There you go, that math checks out. Leaving Sydenham, our next stop is Forest Hill. Getting ourselves up to a P4 throttle. We need to get some... we have 2 green signals. Look at this. Both lines are open. Lovely. So we have to get a little speed so we can get to Forest Hill quickly. We have to arrive by 6:27 and 25 seconds. And there's the other train. This guy's passing us. Look at this. Sutton to London Bridge is passing us. Rude. He must not have stopped at the previous station. Or stopping at Forest Hill. Well, we have to stop, so he's going to be able to go on without us. Another train over there. That's a service to West Croydon that we're passing on the right there. I've been worrying about following this train. I haven't actually been paying attention to where I need to stop. So let's make sure we pull off the stop here. I've just been watching the train. Watching the other train. Let's get cruise a little further down the platform because why not? And then we'll come to a stop. That'll do. Doors are being opened at Forest Hill, and that train ahead of us is long gone now. That was enjoyable, though. Leaving Honor Oak Park, Platform 1. Actually, take that back. Leaving Forest Hill, Platform 1. Our next stop is Honor Oak Park, Platform 1. I came in the other direction already, you see. I've got a few stops to go here. I think about, by my count, about 4 more. You can see a Bedford to Brighton service going on there. I'd love to run the Brighton to Bedford one day if I can find the merge route allows me to do that. Of course, I have to actually play the Bedford route from London first before I even worry about that. That would be a fun little service to do, skipping some stations on the way, making only some principal stops there. Doing the entire run to Bedford would be kind of fun. This is another short station. I did not plan this stop properly either. Yeah, it's okay because we need the time anyway, but... yeah, because this actually worked out perfect because I need to stop right now anyway, and I'm at the end of the platform, so it works out perfectly. Ease it off the brakes slightly, and we have now opened the doors at Honor Oak Park right on time, as per chance. leaving Honor Oak Park. Our next stop is Brockley. Observant viewers will notice that the signal for the track next to me turned green while I was making that stop. So I think another train is going to be passing us in a moment. Keep an eye out. It might pass us while we're at Brockley, so I'll try to get you a shot of that. Our arrival time at Brockley is 6:32 and 25 seconds. We have a full minute and change to be on time. I'm at 45, so I'm going to ease the power off. Even though 60 is our limit, we want to make sure we can come to a stop safely if I end up getting distracted. And I'm cruising up to 46 anyway because we're on a 1 in 100 downhill, so I need to brake a little early knowing that we have some braking resistance here in the downhill gradient. So brakes are on. Look at that, vehicles over there, nice, on the left. We should be good for this stop anyway, but I'm going to have to increase the brake power because of the downhill. It's okay, I can do that. So I've eased off the brake power there as we're back to step 1. I'm going to go step 2 just to make sure the doors open on time. And that will do nicely. So the doors have opened at Brockley. Let's see if this train goes by. Leaving Brockley, our next stop is New Cross Gate, platform 5. You might have noticed that train did cross the distance. Here is a West Croydon service. The other train has now gone off, so I can't see what it is anymore. I'll go ahead and I'll cheat and I'll bring up the map for a moment to show you. The train that passed was this guy, going to London Bridge ahead of us from East Grinstead. And you may have noticed as well when we were stopped there and I was getting you the shot of the train passing by, for some reason my headlights were off. So I solved that problem. They're on now. So we're good. Don't know why they were off, but they were. I remember turning them on too. I pushed the H button to start every scenario. Don't know why. Yellow signal. We're also within a minute of our stop, so we're going to have to screech in again. Screech! Look at all those speed changes ahead. So that's step 1 brake now to get me down to 30 entering the platform, then I'm just going to screech in. Need a quick step 2 application, which I'm doing right now. And now we're going to screech. I'm going to take it off for a moment there. We should be okay for our timing here. Now I'll put the brakes fully on. There we go. Ease it off and we're done. Doors have opened at New Cross Gate. We just have London Bridge left. Let's get boarding. Leaving New Cross Gate, our final stop on this journey is London Bridge, stopping at platform 12. In this layout, it is a terminus platform. I don't know about the current real-life layout, but there are more through platforms there now, that's for sure. We have a 30 limit coming up. I'm going to go ahead and just respect that a little early. We have 2.5 miles to London Bridge. And the graffiti starts showing up as we get towards the big station. There you go. We have another speed limit change, a 45 coming up as well. So the 30, I believe, is the lowest speed we have to deal with. I'm going to respect that 30 right now. We also have a yellow signal, so we're junctioning. That's what the 30 is for. We're going to the right. By one track, it looks like. Get that down. I see what was wrong. I had the P1 throttle applied as I was trying to brake. That would kind of make it hard to brake. Okay, moving along to the next track. We're going to start moving up to 45 because that's the next limit we have to worry about. So speeding up now. Respecting the speed authority. As we pull into London Bridge Station in a few minutes, I just want to remind you, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I do have a couple more scenarios immediately planned for this route. They are the other class 375 scenarios that were shipped with the route. This is the last 456 scenario once again, but I will be looking into getting the Armstrong Powerhouse model of the 456 looked at some point. I do want to drive in on this route and see how it performs on this route as well. I've already driven the Armstrong Powerhouse Class 66, and I already noticed. You saw that when I did the video on 2 on Edinburgh to Glasgow, sorry. Edinburgh to Brighton, that's a heck of a journey. So you saw the Edinburgh to Glasgow scenario that it was quite a different experience because there's some different ways the train functions. So I will give credit. They do make trains different and potentially better function, more enjoyable for driving. So I will certainly give them that. They do make it a more enjoyable experience. I've driven a couple scenarios you have not seen yet. I am going to eventually play those for you on video as well. I just didn't like the quality of the video. I was having some sound problems with my computer at the time, which are no longer an issue, and that's why I couldn't go with the quality on those videos, because the audio did not match up, and I didn't want to put up bad quality with an Armstrong Powerhouse train, which is supposed to be the creme de la creme. Having the bad audio syncing up would not have been good quality, so I did not want to publish that. And it's such a long scenario that I had to just put it off, because I haven't even done the route yet, and my plan was to have shown you the scenarios on that route by now, but some of them had audio problems too, and I didn't like the way that my quality of my own recording, so I have to revisit that entire route and replay all those scenarios. And that's part of the reason I fell behind in the first place, because I threw out a lot of content. That's why I started falling behind. We're going to try to solve that problem and not let that happen again. But for me to do that right now would also mean getting a lot of COVID-sounding coughs on my videos here, especially the longer ones, and I don't want to do too much of that. So we're going to wait until I feel 100% better before I do those longer scenarios, just for your sake. A 90-minute freight run is not, even a passenger run in 9 minutes is not something you want to see if there's a long gap between stations. I'm coughing every 3 or 4 minutes. I don't think you want to hear that. So we'll wait until I'm a little better. Wait until I'm no longer hacking up a storm with my coughs. We have a whole minute and a half to make our stop, so we're going to slow down right now to make sure we don't get emergency brakes triggered. We're good here. Cruising at 10 miles per hour should be just fine for the minute and a half we have to make this stop. So we made good time using those speed limit signs effectively. We made some really good time in these last 90 points because it's 91 per stop. We're not going to have an issue here. We're going to pull up to the buffer. We're going to call it a day. Now at 9 miles per hour. I'm going to hit the brakes and slow down just a little bit more here. Getting down to 5, which is ideal for coming up to a buffer. Basically stop on command. As we get a little closer, I'll take it a little slower. So down to 3 now. Actually went down to 2. Not what I want to do, but we'll take it. You see the turnstiles at the back, people exiting London Bridge Station to go about looking around downtown London. When that buffer, when that signal indicator gets to 0, I'm going to hit the brakes. Might actually just crawl to a stop before that. Who knows? There it is. There's 0. We're going to stop now. That's the end of the scenario. Doors are open at London Bridge. Let's go ahead and look at our train. I like the pedestrian view from behind the turnstiles. Somehow this guy got on a ladder. I don't know how, but I like this view. This is a nice view. I like this. So that's the end of the scenario. We're going to turn the headlights off because we have to change ends for their turn trip. So there you go. Headlights are off. That's a heck of a halo. All those headlights. So, yeah, that's that. Make sure you like the video again. Subscribe to the channel and see more content. You're going to see some Class 375 scenarios next time. These are shorter scenarios on the ones that we just did. So stay tuned for those. They are coming up, and they're going to be your Tuesday and Wednesday broadcasts. I'm going to get them both out this week. So we're going to have South London Network fully explored in 2 weeks, and I'm going to go ahead and figure out what else I want to record. I might take a few days off just to make sure my voice is better after I do those 375 scenarios. Make sure I'm not coughing up a lung. And then if I'm feeling a lot better, I'm going to see if I can do some longer stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I kind of do want to get some American trains explored here as well. So I want to try and get a few more trains on here from North America. We'll see what happens. I got another achievement. We'll talk about that in a second. Well done. You've got the early birds to work on time. I'm not even going to try and do the bird whistling. It's not even worth it. Let's get to the scoring screen. There's our achievement. South London Network stopper to the bridge. And we didn't really have any other fancy title to go with that. They didn't bother with a fancy title on this one like some of the other ones. So, disappointed. But, yeah, nothing to report. We got 91, 91, 91, 91, 90. Because that's our full thousands. There you go. Score achieved. 4, 5, 6 scenarios completed. All doable. Science is so amazing, ladies and gentlemen. I have proven with science and skill that these scenarios can all be done. Yay! So the 375 scenarios are next time. Let's take a quick peek at the menu just to show you those for next time. So there's a scenario we're doing next time called Hastings Diversions. We're going to be taking the 375 to London Bridge on a diversion via East Croydon. I don't know why I said diversion. It's a normal path. We just took it. I don't know. But in any case, we're going via East Croydon apparently next time, which is interesting. Maybe we're going to be pulling in there and changing ends. I don't know. We'll find out. It's a 25-minute scenario. Apparently, if it's a 25-minute scenario, it must be an express. We must not be doing all stops on that train, which I'm not going to complain about, to be honest with you. And then winter troubles, it's going to be probably very slippery. We're probably not going to be able to use our normal stopping patterns on this one. But snowy weather disrupts the service from Gillingham to London Victoria. Disrupts. Are we going to be stopping early on that? We're not going to get to Victoria. Is that what's going to happen? We're going to stop at Balham and call it a day, or stop at Clapham Junction? I don't know. We'll find out when we do that. That's on Wednesday. But for tomorrow, or for Tuesday rather, we're going to be seeing Hastings Diversions. That's the next one I'm going to be playing. I'll see you next time for that. And we're going to be eventually doing these capital stars at some point as well. We have them on the Goblin lines, so I want to try and introduce on the Goblin lines first. But I've already seen a version of the 455. If we haven't actually seen the 455 yet, I will make sure you get to see the Portsmouth direct line as well. I think I've already published those, though. I have to go back and check. But that's the older version of the train. We got that out of the way. As long as they're published, they're out of the way. If not, I have to redo them and put them up for you. But they're quick. They're standard. They're not hard to redo if I have to. So we'll do them if we have to. Other than that, I do want to get to these and show you these 455s at some point as well. Not immediately. They're going to be a week-long set by itself, but I want to show you these, and then we can move into the Armstrong Powerhouse 455 as well, because I have picked up the Armstrong Powerhouse 455 in the last sale or two. So we have picked that up. We are going to be playing the Armstrong version of that as well. Obviously, I played the 170. I played now the 456. 66 I've already shown you. And 37, I've already played the Cujo. I want to upgrade that. I need to show you the sound enhancement for the 47. So I've got a lot of things Armstrong Powerhouse to show you that I've already played the default version of. There's more I haven't even listed. 319 I still have to play. I have a UKTS version of 317 before we get to the Armstrong version of that, which I think they fixed a problem in that in the last few months. So good for that. Good for the guy that discovered that as well. a lot of credit where credit is due for discovering the bug there, and that fixes all the problems for it. So that's really good. So we're going to show you that at some point, now that I know that works. So we'll be getting to these Armstrong models, but I want to show you all the base models first, for obvious reasons. This is an Armstrong model, though. I'm going to show you this on this route as an Armstrong model. That is an Armstrong model. I don't have any other 415s to show you, so that will be the first one. There you go. In the meantime, next time is Hastings Divergence, and we're going to be finishing our first trip of South London Network there before we probably go to either America or back to Germany. I haven't decided yet. I have to check what I did recently and let you know. I'm thinking Germany, but I kind of want to show you the American trains as well. I'm probably going to do them following this. Stay tuned for that. Next time is Hastings Divergence. See you next time for that. I'm Cyclone. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. If this video is already published on my playlist, which I hope you're enjoying the playlist, by the way, you're going to find this video after it, a few days from this one. And if it is there, then it will start in 3, 2, 1.